Alright, hello everyone, it's Silver Kyle, and today I'm going to be going over the top 10 video games that I think would work really well on the Nintendo Switch. So these are games that came out like last gen or on current gen consoles, Xbox One and PS4, but not Nintendo consoles, that I think would work really well if they ported them over on the Nintendo Switch. Mainly because of the portability, but also I think that I picked these games that I thought would really work well with Nintendo's new platform. Let's get this started off with number 10, and that is Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. Now, obviously, I'd probably go with the sequel instead of the first one, and I think that this is just, it's more of a cartoony kind of third-person shooter that I think would kind of blend itself with the Nintendo Switch, kind of to the extent of Splatoon. And if you have people that are playing Splatoon, they could also have this game as well when Splatoon starts to die off a little bit, and then they could eventually have Splatoon 3 down the road. But in the meantime, I think Garden Warfare 2 would work really well for that genre, to have a few more shooters, especially third-person shooters, that to me seemed a little bit more up Nintendo's alley. Next up, they actually had the second one in the series on the Nintendo Wii U, but I think that they should have the like a trilogy of the Batman series, so the Arkham series. So I think that they'd have the Arkham Asylum, the Arkham City, which was on the Wii U, and also Arkham Knight, all kind of like a trilogy package that they could have on the Nintendo Switch. Since we already had the second one on the Wii U, and I think that it would do fairly well if it was the definitive edition for the Switch, because I would personally really like to play those games handheld. I probably wouldn't double dip, but for those of out there that really enjoyed the Batman games and wanted to play them on the Switch, or had never played them but really interested, this would be a good way to do that. Next up is I think that they should release the first two of the series, as the third one is coming out on Xbox One and PS4, and this would allow it to also be made for the Nintendo Switch, and that is the Darksiders series. This, from what I've heard of it, is very much like the Zelda games, so but just an M-rated spin on it, and I think that this, once again, you already have people that love Zelda, and then now you're just adding a mature coat to it. You're going to get people that already have the Switch that are going to be like, yes, I do want to play that game. That does seem like it's up my alley. And I just think that it really works well. And considering the third one's coming out, you could then have that one be released on the Switch not too long afterwards. So it's another one that I'm really thinking that would work really well. Whether they do it or not, I don't know. They also did have Darksiders 2 on the Wii U. Now, the Wii U failed horribly, and that's why I'm bringing these things up, because, well, for one, it seems as though it's very easy to port from the Wii U over to the Switch, but also because if anything failed in the Wii U, don't look at that as that's a failure and it won't work on the Switch. Pretty much anything that the Switch touches turns to gold as of this moment. So that's why I think it would work around this time. Another big RPG series that kind of in the vein of Skyrim, that I think people would just go crazy for and probably do as well as Skyrim, if not maybe even a bit more, because of how well liked this is for the last generation, and has not been ported 10,000 times like Skyrim has to like everything possible. And that's the Witcher series. So I think that The Witcher 3 would be a good place to start with. Or, honestly, The Witcher 1. If they could somehow figure out how to make that on a Nintendo Switch and it wouldn't be like a gigantic hassle to port it from the PC to the Switch, that would be awesome. Because then we would finally be able to play the first one if you don't have a PC. And then you could have the sequel, The Witcher 2, and eventually the third one on the Nintendo Switch, which would be amazing to play that handheld. I would maybe double dip into that. Next one is Fallout 4. I mean, I'm not the biggest Fallout fan, but considering that Bethesda is just like hopping onto the Nintendo Switch with pretty much everything that they can at this point. They re-released Doom on it, they put Skyrim on it, Wolfenstein 2 is eventually coming on it. I feel that Fallout 4 would be the perfect handheld experience, because the Switch is just powerful enough that it can play Skyrim. And I mean, Fallout 4 obviously is that much more powerful than Skyrim is. So maybe Fallout 3 and test the waters with that. But I really feel that if they could somehow do this, dim the power of Fallout 4 a little bit, draw it back a little bit, and have it on the Switch and working on the Switch, that would be amazing. Next up is number 5. And since they released, I'm thinking of big open world games too. And one of the things that I think that would work really well on the Switch is open world games that you would want to be playing in the handheld. That's kind of the appeal of having Skyrim on it. So to me, since they put LA Noire on the Switch, and since the sequel is coming out this year, I really feel that an upgraded Red Dead Redemption would be amazing on the Nintendo Switch. And if it works really well on the Nintendo Switch and sells really well, then Rockstar might be that much more tempted to bring Red Dead Redemption 2 to the Nintendo Switch as well. Fingers crossed for this one. That would be awesome. I honestly think that they could do like an HD, not an HD, but like another remake for Xbox One and PS4 as well, not just the Nintendo Switch. Number 4 is if they were really wanting to bring like a shooter over to the Nintendo Switch, it would either be Overwatch or Destiny. Honestly, I'm not really sure at this point which one would be better, but Destiny, if you were going to do Destiny, you could do like the complete definitive edition of Destiny 1, or probably it would probably be better to go to the Destiny 2 route because that's the latest one. And I think that it's kind of like an MMO, kind of first-person shooter. And I think that if you're going to do that, one series that's a first-person shooter to the Switch, Destiny would kind of work well with that. Next up is number 3. I feel that it just feels at home on a Nintendo console. Considering that they went from PlayStation to now Xbox as well. Like it used to be PlayStation pretty much always getting it. It was Nintendo and PlayStation that used to get these games. Then eventually just PlayStation. And now they've also added an Xbox. And if you're going to add Xbox, you might as well put Final Fantasy 15 on the Nintendo Switch. Now, here's the thing about this. If this is way too powerful, which and I can see that being, they are making another version of this, which is kind of like chibi characters, so it's a lot less demanding of the system. And if that was the case, if you couldn't do this, which I still would want them to try, because I think portably this would be awesome, but if not, then just do the chibi version, and that would be equally as awesome. Number 2, and that's honestly the reason why I'm doing this video now, is because I feel that this is happening. Like they've kind of teased it, and I think it is going to happen. And I completely understand why, and I really want this. And that is Diablo 3 on the Nintendo Switch. That makes so much sense. And I'm so excited if they actually go this route, because it's been like, I think they were saying 15 years since Blizzard made anything on a Nintendo console. That's crazy. And I think that this is like the perfect place to do it. I really want more games like this. And if they made a Diablo 4 down the road, man, that would just be awesome. I'm going to talk more about Diablo in another video, but I really feel that Diablo 3 would be perfect on the Nintendo Switch. Also because I'm a little bit biased, but other than just loving the game, my girlfriend does have a Switch. And instead of us having like to share a screen, which isn't that bad, we play it on the Xbox One, and we have done that before, and we share the screen and it's fine. But her being able to just kind of run off a little bit further than the same screen that I'm on, it really excites me for some reason. Just because I know that she's doing her own thing and I don't have to watch her. It's a really weird thing. But when you have a gamer girlfriend, it's just something that I kind of want. So Diablo 3. And finally, I think that this comes as no surprise, and this is what a lot of people would love to have on the Nintendo Switch. That makes the absolute most sense, and I really feel that if they can't do the latest remaster that they have on Xbox One and PS4, just go to the PS3 and Xbox 360 and port that version, and I think that would work fine on the Nintendo Switch. And that is Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, this begs to be on the Nintendo Switch. Being able to play Grand Theft Auto on a handheld in its entirety. I mean, you are playing the PS2 versions of those games, Grand Theft Auto, on the PSP. The Switch is obviously that much more powerful, and I'm not saying that it would look exactly as beautiful as it does on Xbox One and PS4. I completely understand that, but man, even if it was a 720p Grand Theft Auto 5, that would be amazing. This is also another game that my girlfriend really wants. She absolutely loves the Grand Theft Auto series, but she only has Nintendo consoles, and she would just flip out if this was an option. You know, just her being able to play it. But like for myself, I would totally triple dip at this point because I have it on PS3 as well. I would buy this again just to have it on the Nintendo Switch handheld. That would just be crazy amounts of fun. So there it is, the top 10 games that I think would work the best on the Nintendo Switch. I think they're all not in the correct order. I'm not showing the spines anymore, so there's no point in even showing that. But yeah, those are the top 10 games I think would work really well on the Nintendo Switch. Let me know in the comments below what games you think might work really well on the Nintendo Switch if they were to port something that isn't on my list. Thank you all for watching. You've been Bearded In.
Beardage.